All right, it's Bill here. Here's my thoughts on a 5-2 loss to the Florida Panthers in a game where, in the first period, I was trying to figure out who was working less. Who did less effort in that game, the Florida Panthers or the William Nylander show? Well, that became evidently obvious as we went into the second period. Obviously, Florida checked the scoreboard and said, Ottawa's beating Boston 2-0. We're losing 2-0. Why don't we step it up a little bit? Because I guess home ice advantage doesn't mean nothing. I'll get into that in just a second, okay? Because it seemed like the Florida Panthers in the interview were really, because they're not focused in on the first round. They're focused in on the next rounds and the next rounds. And if you finish first, other than the Rangers, they're going to be on home ice. But that means nothing. I guess it means nothing. You know, the Leafs are about to play the Boston Bruins. They've had 3 times where they didn't have home ice advantage and lost all in Game 7. But you keep telling me that it means nothing. Keep going with that. Keep going with that thought process. Well, the Leafs are better on the road. How did they play tonight? I'm going to give you a couple numbers. Johnny T! 0 goals. 0 assists, 0 points, -3. Who did he get the matchup up against? Oh, would that be the guys that got finished +2? Matthew Tkachuk, Carter Verhaeghe, and Sam Bennett? Is that who they were matched up against? Because I might have missed something. Home ice means nothing. Everybody, nothing. Yeah, good nights for Reinhardt and all that team. They +3, the exact opposite of John Tavares. Morgan Rielly, maybe the worst defenseman in the NHL. And if you think I'm joking when I say that, do you know what the release record is without Morgan Rielly? Would you like to know what it is with Morgan Rielly? He got the secondary assists on the first goal. The way this game turned, 2-0 in the first period. I can get into the goals. Mitch Marner with a power play goal. Noah Gregor with a spin around, horrible goal on the goalie. We're going to have a lot of people yipping about Joseph Woll tonight. I know that's happened. A lot of people yipping about Joseph Woll. They got, 30 shots in the second period? But take a look at Gregor's goal and tell me Stoller should have had that one. So you got 2-0 lead. You're shooting them 14-7. This is a potential opponent. If you beat them, you get them. Now, I'm going to get into a whole bunch of stuff. I honestly think Boston's a better matchup for the Leafs. But again, it doesn't goddamn matter. The Leafs could play the Washington Capitals that are doo-doo. Morgan Rielly, 0 goals, 1 assist, 1 point, -4. -4. Austin Matthews, 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 points, -3. Marner, 1 goal, 0 assists, 1 point, -3. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for -3s, -4s. Listen, I'm going to get into your little... At the end of the day, who cares? Matthews didn't get his 70th. That's what I guess this what game was about, is try to get Matthews his 70th. Disregard horrible defensive plays. You can watch the game. You go ahead and watch it. First goal, Rielly, I don't know who he's passing it to, but it ain't the right team. And it's a secondary assist. And let me get the person who scored that goal. Carter Verhaeghe, the guy who doesn't care about home, or apparently cares about home ice. And then Sam Bennett with a nice tip in. And then not 10 seconds later, they line up Tavares. And kaboom! Kaboom! Johnny! We are now, as far as I know, 366 days away from never having to see that piece of garbage with a blue and white jersey on. Unfortunately, we got a lot more days with Morgan Rielly and some of the other bums. And then Brandon Montour scored a goal that should have been saved. Noah Gregor scored a goal that should have been saved. Call it even. Sam Reinhart with an empty netter. 5-2. Now, I was thinking about everyone that's telling me about the home ice advantage thing. You know, I think I did mention 2001 was the, even though the Leafs had home ice advantage against Tampa Bay and one more on the road, which, okay, but they had home ice advantage and they won. The Leafs haven't not had home ice advantage against the Boston Bruins ever, and they're 0-3. The last time they won is 2011. So I was thinking about this. On Saturday, I was trying to put your argument into some kind of argument where I'm trying to, yes, I called people morons, and maybe I shouldn't have called you morons. I'm a moron, okay? So you get past it. I'm a freaking moron. There's things I do that are stupid, okay? Cheering for the Leafs being number one. I was thinking about rehab. Is there a rehab for, I don't know, they got rehab for like alcohol, for drugs. I would love to go to a rehab for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Can someone just take it out of my system? Why do I watch? Honestly, I'm sure, well, no, Michael Nylander was a bum. I'm sure William Nylander's mom wants to punch William Nylander in the face for the effort he put forth tonight. That man put no effort forth. Not a goddamn effort. And they still put him out there. How many minutes did this piece of filth get? 17 minutes of disgust. He didn't take one goddamn stride. Effing embarrassing. I know the game doesn't matter, but goddamn care. Put an effort forth. $11.5 million for this tutu wearing piece of garbage. Again, should I really get concerned? No. But it's disgusting. It's embarrassing. It's an embarrassment. I've seen the worst Leafs ever. I've seen Brad Marsh. I've seen Brian Curran. Hell, Chris Kotsopoulos. You guys too young for that stuff? Look it up. They couldn't play hockey to save their goddamn lives. But they worked hard. This guy full of talent. Go put a suit on and take the TTC, you piece of... Anyways, I'm going to go back to the home ice advantage. I'm a little all over the place because I have no idea why I watched that entire game. A couple points during the game, I thought, why am I watching this? Who cares? Home ice advantage. There's a guy came over. Apparently he's like right across the street. I've never even met him in my life. I've been here 21 years in this house, and across the street, like, not on, honestly, it's like 50 steps to get to this guy's house. Buddy texts me, says he's at his buddy's house, who happens to be that guy, and says, hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm watching a Leaf game on a Saturday night, second period. Was just finishing against Detroit. And he said, well, I'm going to come over for a beer. I said, cool. Brought his buddy over. Well, nice. I got to meet my neighbor, who I have apparently 50 steps away from. Had no idea who he was. Anyways, so, he comes over. I say, hey, you want a beer? And, go in my fridge, grab a beer. Nice guy, have a beer. And then he's like, you got Bud? I said, yeah, I didn't drink it. But now, typically in the winter, I usually go to LCBO and I stock up on, other beers. I try out a whole bunch of stuff. I stay away from IPAs because IPAs are just terrible. I hate IPAs or wheat beers. Any beer you put an orange in, I mean, give me a goddamn break. But, I'll stock up with a whole bunch, like, some craft lagers or, whatever. I go to the LCBO, kind of figure it out, find a couple that I like, and then a couple I like, I grab a couple of them every time, and then I keep mixing and matching. Well, he just caught me at a day where I went to beer store and grabbed Bud. He starts making fun of me for drinking Bud. Okay. And then I saw what he was drinking. It's the same thing when you guys are trying to say that it's better that the Leafs start on the road. He was drinking Coors Light. How does a man who drinks Coors Light make fun of a man who drinks Bud? Like, what kind of beer do you got to friggin' see a mountain turn blue to know it's cold. Like Coors, you're drinking Coors Light and you're making fun of me drinking Bud? What next? You're going to be drinking Rickard's White? Same thought process. That's the same thought that I'm having for you people saying, home ice advantage doesn't matter. John, let me read the stats to you again. No, did the Leafs have home ice tonight? No. Johnny T! 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 points, -3. That's the difference. He got Sam Reinhart, Sam Bennett, and Tkachuk. And Tkachuk dummied him all game. I can get into what I think of Tkachuk. Doesn't matter. He dummied him all game. So home ice does matter. Stop drinking your Coors Light. Come on the Bud train, okay? I'm not saying go on the Bud train, but don't make fun of a guy drinking Bud when you're drinking Coors Light. You can't make fun of any beer when you're drinking Coors Light. I'm sorry. So it's the Boston Bruins in the second round. Now, I actually think that's a better matchup for the Leafs. I do. You don't have Sam Bennett and Alexander Barkov as the 1-2 centers. You got Charlie Coyle and Pavel Zacha. Trust me, I'll take Charlie Coyle and Pavel Zacha over Alexander Barkov and Sam Bennett any day, twice on Tuesdays. Yes, you're going to have Charlie McAvoy diving all over the ice. Yes, you're going to have Jake DeBrusk, or Jacqueline DeBrusk, faking injuries all over the place, and some Leaf will get suspended for hitting him. And yes, you're going to have Brad Marchand licking faces. It's going to be brutal. And most likely the Boston Bruins are going to beat the Leafs. Just what's going to happen. But it's a better matchup than the Florida Panthers. Florida Panthers would kill the Leafs. And they have home ice advantage, so they get to set up Johnny T. Johnny T! 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 points, -3. Are you done with your home ice bullcrap? Anyone who blames this game on Joseph Woll is an idiot. Anyone who blames this on the refs, although the refs were atrocious for both teams, they were atrocious, is an idiot. This is a lack of effort. They don't care, and maybe who cares? Maybe they want to play Boston. I don't know. But you think you'd want to get the 70th goal for Austin Matthews? Maybe Mitch Marner put a little effort forth to do that. That's it. Defense, morons. TJ Brody's not in the lineup. Doesn't matter. They're still idiots. They have no hockey sense. They don't know how to play hockey as a defensive team. I don't even know what else to say. If you really want to know how bad the Leafs are, just watch the third goal for the Florida Panthers. Carter Verhaeghe, I think Reinhart scored it. Just watch Tavares on that, please. From the draw in. Just watch him and wonder why I hate the man. I hate everything about him. I've hated him since day one. The Leafs needed a defenseman. They don't have one. From what I understand, Boston's got a couple. The Leafs don't have one. Now, do I think they've got a chance in the playoffs? I think they have a better chance against the Bruins. Probably on Friday, I'll go into a little synopsis. They play Tampa Bay tomorrow. My guess, at least please, just don't even put Nylander anywhere near an ice surface. If he's not going to try, who cares? Call someone from the minors. I don't care. Horrible game. Horrible effort. And if you're Sheldon Keefe, don't you take a stick and just start beating the living hell out of William Nylander after that game? If there's someone out there that thought William Nylander played a good game tonight, there should be a documentary on how not to play the game. Zoom in on William Nylander. William Nylander had more minutes than Matt Nyes, David Camp, Holmberg, Gregor. Why? He didn't even put an effort forth. Anyways, one more game of the season. Again, obviously the Leafs don't give a shoot. So, starts in Boston. Fantastic. Cheers.